So you want to know the real tea on what it's like living alone in your 20s? Well, we're going to get into it right now. Let's go. Hello, beautiful people. It's Maya, and today's mission is to talk about the truth about living alone in your 20s. I'm 23 years old. I've been living on my own for about 9 months, and there are just some things that I've learned, and I just kind of wanted to talk about my experience because a lot of people have asked me questions. I feel like it's a great experience, and I'm an introvert, so this is amazing. This is amazing for me, but we will get into the tea on some of the downsides, the financial aspect, and just what that reality looks like. First things first, let's get into the most fun part about this. The freedom, the freedom, the freedom, the freedom, the freedom. I love living alone. Like, it's literally 6 in the morning right now and I'm filming a video right now. Okay, if I was at home, I would not be able to do that. I'd have to make sure I'm not waking anybody up, make sure I coordinate with everybody's schedule in the house. I don't have to worry about that because I'm on my own time. It is such a great feeling. And I'm just gonna keep saying it is such a privilege to be able to live alone. I really do hope that everybody gets to experience this. And like I said, if you're an introvert like me, living alone is truly a dream come true, especially those days when you come back from work and you don't want to talk to anybody, or you had a really long day, you're going through it, and you just kind of want to regulate your emotions on your own and just take some quiet time, some time for peace, do whatever works for you, and not have to talk to anybody. Even if you're an extrovert, living alone can be a great thing. And I think it is great to be able to connect with yourself. You truly do learn more about yourself. You truly get to do things that make you feel like an adult. Well, the AC just turned on, and it's refreshing to have your own judge-free zone. You can literally do whatever you want to do. And my friends know I'm someone that has a dance party pretty much every single day, and I'm able to put on my speaker, I'm able to dance, I'm able to sing. It's refreshing. I feel like I'm really letting my inner child kind of do all the things that I wish I could have done when I was at home. So that is a great feeling. I get to watch TV at any time. I get to cook at whatever time, make my little snacks at whatever time of the night. Like, it's just fun. And it can be scary to be away from your family, especially if you're like me and you have moved out of state and don't really have a lot of people out here. Luckily, where I'm at is the state where I went to college, so I have my college friends out here. They really help me out with a lot of stuff, and I have my cousins out here, so that's also very helpful. But it's still not the same as having your immediate family around. But I think it's just one of those things where, this is adulting and you have to make certain sacrifices to have some adventure in your life and to grow as a person. So I think the greatest thing about living alone is just seeing how strong you are and seeing all the things that you can actually do on your own. I put my bed together myself. I put a bunch of shelves up by myself. And it was just like, oh my gosh, I did not know I could do that. Like, there are just a few things I've done around here. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, wow, you did that on your own. I didn't have to call my dad. Like, I figured it out myself. I don't know, it's just refreshing to see how much you can really grow and how much you can push yourself to get things done because you know that you're on your own. And again, with that freedom comes the responsibility to continue to take care of stuff on your own. Like, wow, I really did that. I'm calling the doctor. I'm making these appointments myself. I am advocating for myself, and I just think it's a great part of adulting because I think everyone definitely needs to learn that you don't want to be someone that is only relying on your parents to take care of things for you. I was always a pretty independent person when I was living at home anyways, but it was still an adjustment for me to have to figure out simple things on my own. Like, for example, I was trying to be healthy and made air fried walnuts. I probably could have just put in the oven, but I guess I had it up a little bit too high, burnt my walnuts, the smoke alarm went off, and I was just kind of freaking out. But then it stopped and I just kind of ignored it. And then the next morning it was making a little beeping sound because the batteries needed to be changed. So I had to call maintenance. At first I was ignoring it, but I was like, let me be an adult here. Okay, this is my apartment. Let me be an adult here. So I called maintenance. They changed the battery and figured all of that stuff out. There's something so beautiful about being able to connect with yourself and seeing the things that you like, seeing the things that you don't like, trying out different things, being able to just, decorate your apartment the way that you want. I'm definitely a minimalist, so I don't have a lot of decorations, but again, I've been here 9 months, so I still have a lot of stuff that I want to do to decorate and get some more things going on in here. The second thing we are going to get into, which is very, very important, let's talk about finances. After I graduated from college, I had the opportunity to come back to the East Coast, get my big girl job, and live out here. And that is the only reason why I got an apartment. Because if I would have stayed home, I probably would have just lived with my parents, saved some money. But here we are, and I do not regret my decision because, again, I love the freedom that comes with living alone. Like we already know, adulting is expensive. Adulting is expensive. Times are kind of rough right now. Not kind of, they are rough right now. I highly, highly, highly recommend having multiple streams of income if it is possible. And it's crazy that we even have to resort to making sure that we have more than one stream of income, but that's just how it is. And see what you can do. Like, you're living in your 20s. We are multi-talented. We are creative. I'm sure there's something you can do whenever you have the free time because, working can be exhausting, but when you do have the energy, you could do some kind of side hustle. Some things that I've done include like writing essays, writing people's resumes or cover letters because I was a writing consultant on campus and I love writing. So that is something that is not difficult for me. I've done house sitting, I've done pet sitting, and you could also do some type of food delivery services if you have a car, or try to find some kind of service that you can provide that aligns with your interest. I know for me, I've been getting back into makeup, so I'm thinking, eventually sometime, maybe in the summer, I would take some kind of classes and I want to be able to like do makeup on people, or figuring out how to do more hairstyles. Like, I've always been experimenting with myself, but if I could learn how to do people's hair on the side, do people's makeup on the side, in addition to the other things that I'm doing, that will be great to help me get closer to a lot of the financial goals that I have. But the takeaway is, have another stream of income if you can and if you have the time, because everything adds up and it's great to be able to have some kind of extra money as a cushion because you never know what can happen. It is so imperative that you organize your finances. And living alone in your 20s and having your own place, it comes with a lot of financial responsibilities, a lot of things that you didn't have to deal with, when you're living at home or if you were living in a dorm. Every apartment is different, but for my apartment, outside of rent, I'm paying for electricity and then I'm paying for my internet. And I think there's also like a fee for water usage or something, but that's like included with my rent. So it's those three big things that I'm paying for. And then of course, like my own bills, like paying my credit cards, paying my phone bill, paying for subscriptions, groceries, just other little things like that. Everything adds up. So you want to stay organized. Everyone has their own method. You could be someone that likes to write everything out on paper or looking at your bank statements to know how much you typically spend. Figure out what your financial routine is going to be. This is not sponsored at all, but I personally use the Rocket Money app. I think it used to be called Truebill or something, because it shows you the subscriptions that you have. Sometimes you may forget that your card is linked to certain subscription services. So that is a great way to track your subscriptions. And it also gives you a monthly and quarterly and yearly spending report. I actually interned with Rocket Company, so that's the only reason that I knew what this product was. But I've been seeing a lot of ads about it recently, and it actually does work. I think you have to pay like $3 to $7 a month, but it lets you choose. It lets you choose how much you want to pay. So I don't know if that feature is still a thing, but I personally pay like $3 a month for it. And you can also see when you're about to get your paycheck. Like, it'll let you know when you're about to get your paycheck. Sometimes the days can be a little bit off, but it gives you a pretty much very accurate idea of when something is about to be charged to your card and when you're about to get paid. So love that. And I know some friends that like to use Mint. I think it kind of does the same thing, or simply using like an Excel file. Whatever you do to organize your finances, it's going to be very helpful. This is your sign to start taking budgeting seriously, to start taking personal finance seriously, and make it into something that's fun. It doesn't have to be this big, scary thing. Being in your 20s and learning more about finances is so important because your future self is gonna thank you later. If you're someone that doesn't like to read books, definitely start listening to some financial podcasts or watching some YouTube videos on financial education. Some of the YouTubers that I like to watch that like to talk about that entrepreneurial mindset and side hustles are creators like Lynn Allure, Sarah Finance, Clever Girl Finance, and so many. I don't know why I can't think of everything off the top of my head. That is just a place to get started. Definitely start looking into that and preparing yourself because again, finances are so important. The next thing that I want to talk about are the downsides of living alone, because a lot of people have asked me like, Maya, do you get lonely sometimes living alone? And the answer to that question is yes. 95% of the time I am living my best life in here. I'm enjoying myself because again, I am a shy and introverted person, so being alone is a dream. But I'd be lying if I said there were not moments, you know, sometimes you're alone at night and you're just like, I'm kind of homesick, especially if you're like me and you are thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away from your family. It can be difficult, and there's definitely moments where you get homesick, and you know, it's a natural human emotion. It happens sometimes. But one thing that really helps me is cherishing the adult friendships that I have. I know it can be difficult, especially if you move to a new town and you haven't quite met your friends yet. But I think more and more we are realizing that community is so important. Even if your community is one friend, if you could have one friend around you that really builds you up and you guys try new things together, you guys are going out or you're staying in, doing whatever you guys do, it is so important, and it can definitely elevate your mood, especially if you're feeling lonely. Because of course, it is so important to pour into yourself and to be able to give yourself your own sense of peace. But it's also great to have a community. It's also great to have friends around you that make you feel great. And of course, with my family, I'm always FaceTiming them. I'm always texting them, especially my sisters. They definitely keep me sane. They definitely keep me entertained. And another great thing that I love to do is keeping myself busy with hobbies, or I think I've mentioned it before, trying different things, going to new places. So I don't live far from the metro. If you don't know what the metro is, it's basically like the train. This year I told myself I was definitely going to take advantage of being close to the metro and hopping on the metro and just going into DC and trying different things, trying new places to eat, going to the museums, trying different activities. So that has been great, and I plan on documenting each of these places that I go to. If you haven't watched it already, I actually have a vlog from when I went to the Smithsonian National Museum of African Art. Definitely go and check it out. Trying new things, trying new hobbies, doing the things that make you feel happy, doing the things that make you feel alive, doing the things that make you feel whole will definitely help you in those moments when you do feel lonely. And if you're someone that is single, solo dates are so refreshing to do because you're kind of like treating yourself intentionally and saying, you know, I would want someone to take me here. So instead of waiting for that person to take me there, I'm going to take myself there. So that's something that I'm doing because, you know, definitely living alone, being single, you know, there can be moments at night where you're like, dang, I wish I had someone. I wish I had my person right now that I could, you know, go out with and do all these different things with. But guess what? It is okay, whether you're single, whether you are not single, go on solo dates, enjoy the peace that you have with living alone, and yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing, guys. At this point, I am just yapping, so I'm gonna end the video here. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.